Evea, so I wanted to share a story with you all today. It's a bit intense, but I feel like it's a really important one to tell, especially in this age of online dating. I'm 24, and like a lot of people my age, I've used dating apps to meet new people. It's just how things are done now, right? I matched with this guy. Let's call him Alex. On his profile, he seemed great. He had a good job, a nice smile, and our conversations online were amazing. We seemed to click on everything, from music tastes to what we wanted for the future. After a few weeks of just texting and talking on the phone, we decided it was finally time to meet in person. We agreed to meet for dinner at a popular restaurant downtown. It was a public place, well lit, always busy. I told my best friend where I was going and who I was meeting, even shared my location with her, just in case. You know, the standard safety precautions. When I got there, he was already at the table. He looked just like his pictures, which was a relief. At first, everything was going so well. The conversation flowed just as easily as it did online. He was charming, funny, and he seemed genuinely interested in getting to know me. We laughed, we shared stories, and for a moment I thought, wow, this could actually be something. The food was great, the atmosphere was perfect, and I was honestly having a really good time. As the evening went on, though, I started to notice little things. He'd make comments that were a bit too personal, a little too forward. He'd brush his hand against mine a little too often, even when I subtly pulled away. I tried to brush it off, thinking maybe he was just nervous or overly enthusiastic. But then he started talking about his exes in a way that made me uncomfortable, with a real edge of bitterness in his voice. The charming guy, from the beginning of the date, was slowly being replaced by someone who felt intense, unpredictable. My internal alarm bells started ringing, quietly at first, but they were definitely there. I started feeling a knot in my stomach. I decided it was time to end the night. I politely said I had an early morning and needed to get going. That's when his whole demeanor shifted. The smile vanished. He insisted on walking me to my car, and I felt like I couldn't say no without causing a scene. The walk through the parking garage was the longest walk of my life. The air felt heavy, and his silence was more unnerving than his earlier comments. When we got to my car, he leaned in, blocking my door. He said, "The night doesn't have to end here." I told him firmly but politely, "I'm sorry, but I really have to go." He didn't move. He just stared at me, and his eyes were cold. My heart was pounding in my chest. I knew I was in a dangerous situation. This is the part that's hardest to talk about. He grabbed my arm, his grip like iron. All I could think about was survival. All the self-defense videos I'd ever watched, all the advice I'd ever been given, it all came rushing back. I used my other hand to dig my keys into his arm as hard as I could. He yelled in pain, and his grip loosened just enough for me to wrench my arm free. I didn't hesitate. I scrambled into my car, locked the doors instantly, and started the engine. He was banging on the window, his face contorted with rage. I threw the car in reverse and sped out of that garage without looking back. I drove straight to my friend's house, shaking and crying the whole way. I'm sharing this not to scare everyone off of online dating, but to remind you to always trust your gut. That feeling in your stomach, that little voice telling you something is off, listen to it. It's there for a reason. Having a safety plan is crucial. Tell people where you're going, share your location, and have an exit strategy. My story had a terrifying turn, but I was able to get away. It's so important that we look out for ourselves and for each other. Please be safe out there. Thank you for listening to my story. If you found this helpful, please consider liking and subscribing for more content. Stay safe.